In this arid land, bougainvillea still blooms with vibrant vitality. Marrakesh, a 1,000-year-old city on the edge of the desert, is world-renowned for its red walls and garden-like oases. Today, we embarked on a special journey, traversing both city and countryside to explore the story of water resource management in this land. Like these resilient flowers, Marrakesh continues to adapt and innovate in the face of climate change challenges, while the gap between urban and rural areas persists. Water holds a special significance in Marrakesh. It is not only the source of life, but also shapes people's health conditions and quality of life. We chose the social determinants of health framework as our academic perspective, a framework that reveals how health is shaped collectively by individual factors, lifestyle, community networks, living conditions, and broader socioeconomic environments. The vast territory of Marrakesh, with its distinct urban-rural contrasts and diverse water resource management models, provides us with an ideal research setting. Together, these approaches help us understand how unequal water access affects health through various pathways. This research matters for environmental justice in developing regions and provides practical solutions for communities dealing with climate change. We will present our research through the following 5 aspects. Marrakesh's economic structure is highly dependent on tourism. According to local guide Hamzaoui Ismail, approximately 80% of economic income comes from this sector. Climate change is bringing severe challenges to this city. Summer temperatures can reach as high as 45–48 C, intensifying water resource pressure. The Marrakesh region faces increasingly unstable drought patterns, with annual precipitation of 14 billion cubic meters and evaporation of 11.8 billion cubic meters. 94% of its water cannot be utilized. Moreover, annual rainfall shows a clear downward trend, and by 2030, precipitation in North Africa may decrease by 10 to 20%, placing greater pressure on water-dependent rural communities. The Medina once had a sophisticated water system dating back to the 12th century. Water management reflects a complex historical heritage.
Now we have water brought from the Atlas Mountains to a treatment station outside the city, and then the water gets cleaned and by some chemical products, and then gets distributed to the city.
This system embodied the importance and religious significance of water resources in Islamic culture. However, today, these traditional systems have been replaced by modernized centralized water supply networks. The 2016 Water Law 36-15 attempted to address water resource distribution inequality through basin management mechanisms. But implementation effects show significant differences between urban and rural areas. Urban areas benefit from formalized water quality monitoring and management systems, while rural areas still have limited regulatory and enforcement capacity, leading to continued inequality in water resource access. Marrakesh's urban and rural water infrastructure presents stark contrasts. These areas benefit from strict water quality monitoring and regular inspections.
In contrast, rural tanker-supplied water can cost over 20 to 50 million dirham per meter cube, despite lower quality. So affordability is a key barrier. Rural households earning less than $3,000 million per month spend up to 50% of income on water.
Government investment also shows significant urban-rural disparities. The National Sanitation Program invested 20 billion dirhams in urban areas to build modern wastewater treatment facilities, while the Rural Sanitation Program allocated 12 billion dirhams to rural areas. This investment gap directly affects residents' opportunities to access safe water sources in different regions. Water price differences reflect resource distribution inequality. Urban residents pay about 6 to 8 dirhams per cubic meter for water, while in rural areas, water supplied by water trucks costs as much as 20 to 50 dirhams per cubic meter. However, not all rural communities face the same predicament. A round village, thanks to good community management, requires residents to pay only about 1 dirham per ton for water, demonstrating an effective community governance model. The prosperity of Marrakesh's tourism industry has increased urban water resource demands. The government has attempted to promote water conservation awareness through media campaigns, but faces challenges in actual implementation.
You control people in their houses, and that's not easy. Because it's practical. It's practical. To come and to tell somebody to have a shower one day, once a year, once a week. So it's not practical.
Meanwhile, rural water management shows diverse patterns. Some villages like Around have 3 water sources: natural springs, deep community wells 120 meters, and rainwater collection systems. Other villages face severe shortages without funds for well drilling. Rural irrigation systems combine tradition and practicality. Villagers use simple but effective baffle systems to control water flow direction, ensuring fair water distribution. Though basic, this technology demonstrates the collective wisdom and value of traditional knowledge developed by local residents over centuries.
We hope the people stay there for that we work together. We do our best and have for the people find what he wants in his village. Stay in his village, work in his village.
Faced with water resource challenges, Marrakesh communities and individuals have developed diverse adaptation strategies. Religious and cultural traditions play an important role in these strategies. Islam views water as a precious resource used for religious ablution ceremonies, demonstrating the connection between water resources and the spiritual world. Traditional knowledge holds important value in water resource management. Rural residents often trust their own groundwater sources more than bottled water, believing that naturally filtered water is healthier. This traditional knowledge has scientific basis. Clay pots contain negatively charged clay that can absorb pollutants, improving water quality to some extent, demonstrating the contribution of indigenous knowledge to health. Community adaptability is vital in addressing water shortages. Despite challenges, rural communities reduce scarcity impacts through collective action and mutual aid, showing resilience. Some villages have created water allocation rules and management systems to ensure basic access for all residents. The core of the social determinants of health framework is individual health outcomes, which are jointly influenced by all levels of factors mentioned earlier. In Marrakesh, inequality in water resource access affects residents' health condition through multiple pathways, including physical health, mental health, and environmental health. In Marrakesh, inequality in water resource access affects residents' health status through multiple pathways. University researchers are studying water pollutants, including heavy metals, antibiotic resistance, and microplastics. Groundwater sources around Marrakesh often contain nitrates and microbial contaminants. These pollutants are closely linked to spatial inequality, with informal settlements typically having higher pollution levels. natural disasters intensify health inequalities. The 2023 earthquake led to water sources disappearing in some places, while water flowed out from new paths in others, forcing communities to adapt to changing hydrological conditions. Urban areas, due to stronger infrastructure, resilience, and more resources, could restore water supplies more quickly, reducing health impacts, while rural areas faced longer interruptions and more severe health consequences. Water uncertainty also affects mental health. When poor rural families spend up to 50% of income on water, this limits other health spending, creating a cycle of inequality. Exploring Marrakesh's water management through the social determinants of health framework reveals complex urban-rural differences and their multi-layered health impacts. Despite climate change challenges, Marrakesh demonstrates impressive adaptability and innovation. From urban integrated water networks to rural community management models, people's wisdom in facing challenges shines through. Recognizing this relationship's multi-layered nature is crucial for developing more equitable, sustainable water policies. Marrakesh's experience reminds us that technical solutions must combine with social equity, cultural respect, and ecological wisdom to truly achieve health and well-being for all communities.